Hello there. Another week. So today is Tuesday, 1st of September. So yesterday was Bank Holiday Monday, so didn't work Bank Holiday. The CX tends to be a lot quieter anyway. There was a few jobs pinging up. I did have it switched on, but yeah, didn't bother working it. So this week my plan is a bit different because I'm not going to be working Friday for sure. Monday, Bank Holiday, so that's a 3-day week. I thought there's no point really in going tramping and going far away because I'll just be looking to get back to the West Midlands really quick again. So what I've done today, or the plan for this week, is just to try and stay local. So Tuesday, today I had a bit, as is normally the case when I'm starting at home, I had a late start just because I had quite a busy weekend. I was knackered. And had a few things to do in the morning, so I didn't get on a CX until about 10 o'clock. There's plenty of jobs on there at that time in the West Mids. Picked up a job, Kings Winford, short wheelbase job, a small pallet and a few other small, bar, lengths of bar, a bent bar. I think it was basically a stair lift for an elderly person to be fitted to their home. Took that up to Nantwich area to some company that deals in mobility stuff and stair lifts, fitting them. That was pretty straightforward really. It wasn't the best job to take on, I think, because my idea this week is to stay West Mids. I think sort of Stoke, Nantwich, those jobs come up there, they tend to be going everywhere, so I think really if I'm going to stay in the West Mids, that's too far north. I need to stay in the West Midlands or East Midlands, Leicester I'd probably go to. So yeah, tip there. I'm not really feeling it today. Slightly groggy. Watched the job so well. Nothing there obvious for me. So I took an Amazon block in the Wednesbury depot, which is really close to my home. 3.5 hour block. There was also 3-hour blocks available. So drove back down, picked that up. That was a half free pickup. Took me about 2 hours 45 again. It was same day, so half free pickup and it's same day. So seems like all of the flex blocks at the moment are same day, or maybe the ones that are really early afternoon, 1-2 o'clock, maybe they're normal delivery. So yeah, it was a bit scattered again, but only 23 drops, 24 parcels. The downside was I was hoping to get something closer to home. They sent me to Telford, so that was a bit of a pain in the ass. So it took me a quarter of an hour less than flex same day is taking me the last few blocks, but obviously it was more miles than I wanted to do. So take-ins for the day are pretty low, so 50 for the first job, £45.50 for the second, so 95.50. But considering last Tuesday I was on it all day, the CX tramping away and stuff, and I made £100, maybe it's not such a bad day. To do delivering in Telford, just a bit about the multi-drop in different types of housing estates. I'd say a lot of Telford's a new town, so it was built in the 50s and 60s, lots of council estates, and council estates from that era can be a right pain in the ass to deliver to. You tend to have an access road and then loads of houses that aren't immediately on the road. So yeah, that just makes it a lot more difficult. But with the Amazon Flex app, it's really good because it'll show you the outlines of the building. The little dot, the little pin is exactly where the house number is. I delivered to them areas doing the food deliveries, and all you got then is a postcode and a street name and number, and it can be an absolute nightmare in them places. So yeah, that was right in the end. So that's Tuesday. I'm not even sure I'm going to work Wednesday tomorrow. I'm not feeling myself. I might just have an easy-ish day at home, and got loads of stuff I need to get done at home, so I might do that. But I'll definitely work. My plan is, regardless, I'm definitely going to do a full day logging onto the CX early doors on the Thursday. I think Thursday will be busier than a Wednesday, to see exactly how well I can do in a full local day. So that's Tuesday, first day of the week, done. Alright, hello again. So today is Thursday, so I didn't go on the run as such yesterday, well at all. Let's get a few things done at home. couple of work-related things, bit of paperwork, but yeah, I wasn't really feeling myself, so generally just had a bit of a lazy day, to be honest. So yeah, so today's Thursday. Plan for today was start early-ish, see what I could do in the day working locally. So I logged on about 8, I could have logged on earlier, but again, it's harder to get going at home. So yeah, I picked up my first job 20 past 8, so it didn't take long. That was Oldbury to Lichfield, a medium wheelbase job, £40. That was plasterboard from just like a company, I mean not so much a builder's yard, but the company that supplies builder's yards. So it's somewhere further up the supply chain of building materials. But it was going direct to a new housing development for one of the major house builders in Lichfield. It said it was insulation, but when I get there, it's plasterboard, 2.4 by 1.2 metre sheets of plasterboard. So plaster and plasterboard can be a bit messy. I picked up from this place before bags of plaster and I made a right mess of the van, so now whenever I do plaster I always put a sheet down. And one of my probably the least favourite places to deliver to is these new development housing, building developments, housing estates, because generally they're filthy. If it's dry it's okay, it's just dusty, but like today, this morning it was raining, and it tends to make a right mess of the van if you're not careful. I've been to one before where it just seemed like everywhere the road had been laid in tarmac, but everywhere was just like covered in an inch of muddy slop, and it gets all over your feet, all over the inside of the van. Yeah, it's probably my least favourite places to deliver to so far, but yeah, that went alright. There was a bit of handballing at the delivery point, but I wasn't going to try and lump these full-size sheets of plasterboard. I just left it to them. Because if I dropped one in the puddle or something, it'll be ruined. So yeah, sometimes you just got to stand back and leave them to it. So it took a bit of time, but that's just to be expected sometimes. And then I was just around the corner, there was a supermarket, so I shot over to there to use the facilities, the toilet. Yeah, and then before I went in, I checked, and there's a few jobs on there that I was like kind of interesting, but not massively interested in. So I thought I'll go to the toilet and I'll come back out, and then I'll see if it's still there, and if so, I might bid. And then something happened, which has never happened to me before, while I was in the toilet, but it was something to do with CX. I had a phone call, and I thought, well, I haven't put a bid on anything. Who's calling me? I answered, and it was a shipper, basically, obviously struggling for people. I've heard of this happening, but it's the first time it's ever happened to me. They saw I had the right size van in the right area, and they rang me up to see if I'd be interested in the job. So it's not me quoting on a job, but the shipper actually phoning around to approach things. So I thought, I remember this job, looking at it, I thought it's Northampton. It's kind of a bit further than I want to go because I don't want to get stuck out of area. It's 59 miles, so I said, yeah, I'll do it 60 quid because I said I got a bit of time to get there. I said 60 quid, and he goes, well, I was thinking 50. Would you do 55, meet in the middle? I thought, yeah, I'll do 55. So yeah, picked that up, just a pallet, yeah, one pallet from a printers, going down to an industrial building in Northampton. Really straightforward, either end. They were on the ball. Yeah, and then from Northampton, I basically set out to a garage to get myself a coffee, see if that would wake me up a bit because I'm still groggy. And then I bid on a couple of jobs before I went in to get my coffee. And then the shipper phones me and basically to give me a job, but he says there's something strange going on here. And I was like, what's that? He goes, there's 2 people bidding this job, yourself and one other. Well, there might have been other people, but he says 2 of you, by the look of his map, are in exactly the same place. I said, well, yeah, it could be. I'm at a garage. Said, what do you ever use there? What van are they in? And he gave me the reg number. Looked out the window of the garage, the Shell garage, and there's the van, the Volkswagen Crafter out of the pumps. So you never know who's around you on the CX. I've spotted them before. You tend to see people sat around, parked up in industrial estates, looking at the phone all the time, but you always wonder if they're on the CX. Yeah, but anyway, I got the job. He says it was a flip of a coin job, and I got that job. So that was a short wheelbase job from a company that makes exhaust parts up to where I am now in Coventry. Prologis Park. First time I've been here, but it's a massive place just off the M6. Dropped off to a company that seems to make sort of earth moving excavation equipment, which I didn't know was here. Bit of a JCB type company, but a smaller version of them, I think. So got here at 3 and tipped. So it's been pretty much all go until that point, and then yeah, just tipped here. And then I've waited here. I've bid on a few jobs. It's now 5 o'clock, so say I've been bidding for now. I'm 45, and I've not got anything from here, but I'm not a million miles from home. Still not feeling great, so I was quite happy just to sit here really. I bid on a few jobs, but I wasn't going to go too cheap. I was only going to do them if sort of like took me closer to home or no further away, and yeah, just quoted a bit optimistically, but not got anything. So yeah, I think if today I found trying to work closer at home, it was really busy for today jobs up until sort of mid-afternoon. From mid-afternoon, most of the jobs going on there are for tomorrow. I've actually got a job logged in for tomorrow. I wasn't going to work tomorrow, but more that. So yeah, I think in the afternoon today it's just been a bit quiet, and that's what happened when the CX gets quiet. Jobs for today, picking them up in the afternoon can be a bit of a pain, or it can be not much available. Friday, tomorrow, it should be busier. Tends to be busier all day because companies want to get stuff out of the way before Monday. Certainly that was the case last week and maybe the week before. Found busy. Fridays are quite busy. I wasn't going to move work tomorrow because I'm supposed to be going away mountain biking, but I'm still groggy, so I've pretty much canned that off. So I'll probably just pot around locally, hopefully not do any strenuous handballing jobs, and earn a bit of cash. Not cash, but earn a bit of money on the CX. So that's CX. So I haven't done any flex today. Obviously I did one on Tuesday. But I've had a bit of news on the Amazon Flex, and it's not great news. I had an email from them, so they send weekly updates and quite often send updates about various stuff if you do Flex. When I read through this one, it says Amazon Flex now, you normally only ever do deliveries. They're now saying on the Flex that you could now get collections, but not collections from residential addresses, just collections from the lockers, these big yellow lockers you see dotted all over the place, lots of them at petrol stations, or from the drop-off points in shops. So for me, that is just totally put me off Flex, unless it's from the local depot, because I can't remember the last time I did a Flex block, and I've done hundreds of them, that I had to go back to a depot. It's very rare. Once you know what you're doing, you make sure you don't have to go back, find a neighbour, bend the rules a bit if you have to. Just it's not worth doing if you have to go back to the depot. So yeah, I can't see me doing much Flex at all, and I think they'll really struggle now if they bring this out and start even people in cars. I think we don't have to pay for the extra insurance on their van doing what I do. I think it'll really put them off as well, so be interested to see what develops there. Yeah, so that's Thursday done. So takings for today, 40. It was actually a medium wheelbase job, the first one. It should have been short wheelbase. That was 40, 55 for the second, and 40 for the thing. So it's 135 staying local. On another day, I could have picked up another job in the afternoon and been on 160 plus for the day, which would have been alright, but it's still not a terrible day, but not a great day. Yeah, that's Thursday. Alright, final day of the week, so that's Friday done, or Frantic Friday as it's been, for myself and for shippers from what I've gathered going through the day. So yeah, the CX is, as the last few weeks, really quite busy on a Friday. To get straight into it, so I had a job booked in yesterday afternoon for this morning, a nice early start, so if you get going early then you have a good chance of earning good money. It was only a small van job, 30 quid job from Willenhall, which isn't far from me, up to Rugeley, so not far from Cannock, just north of Cannock. That was drop-in, I don't know if you mentioned the companies where I'm dropping them. I'm going to mention this one because it was dropping to JCB, one of their sites. So that's the second time I've dropped to JCB now. And JCB's got a terrible reputation for keeping people waiting. So I'm always up for comments down below. Keep them coming. But in particular, I want to know, anyone, what your thoughts on JCB? Is it as bad as everyone says? Because quite often you'll see on jobs that go into Uttoxeter area, ST14, you'll see jobs posted, and if it's not on it, if it's that postcode and it's not a JCB job, the shipper puts in a job notes, not a JCB job. So obviously people won't bid if they think it's a chance of going to JCB, or they might bid but bid high, just because they might think there's a load of waiting time possibly. But yeah, from what my experience, it's been okay. So please post below. So that was that job, worked out quite well, pounds per mile, pence per mile, pounds would be nice. Second one, got a job straight after, Burton-on-Trent, picking up from like a food factory, going up to Warrington, just off the M62, big new, for one of the big national pizza delivery firms, or international, I think, to their place. I think it's like their food depot, distribution depot, but also it looked like a bit of a factory as well because there's all these fancy tanks outside. And then after that, I went and parked up in the services on the M62 Junction 8, had a quick look at some jobs, spotted a few jobs I was quite interested in, but I was kind of wanting to head south then. There's a job on Widnes is just down the road over to Salford, but Salford's still Manchester. I'm still thinking I want to head south, don't want to get stuck up here. So, and then the same thing happened as yesterday. The phone rings before I've bid on anything, and it's a shipper for this job saying would I be interested. So he's obviously they're struggling to sell it, they need it gone. I says, oh sorry mate, I'm kind of looking to head south. Went through all the other jobs, decided okay, I will bid for it, but I'm going to bid quite high. So it was 29 loaded miles, 7 miles down the road, short wheelbase job. So I bid 55, and he rings me up and says, oh, I've got 50 on a job for you if you want it. I can't do any more, 50. So I took it for 50. Pickup. Yeah, when I went to the pickup, I had to go in the office, get the paperwork, go to the thing, get loaded, give them the paperwork, they load me. I go, and it was just some floor tile in, or it's more like laminate flooring, and some laminate flooring underlay. Ping over to Salford, get to the residential address. I thought I might be meeting like a fitter, you know, maybe they're just a few boxes short, but no, it was just a residential address. Knock on the door, lady comes to the door, opens a garage so I can load it into there, and she's like, yeah, can I have it in 2 stacks please? I'm thinking, well, there's only 4. So they're saying, do you want me to just put it there? And she says, yeah, in 2 stacks. And I'm thinking, right, all right, whatever. So she goes off into the house, unload 2 stacks, 2 on each stack, laminate flooring packs, thinking of B&Q, and I was thinking, this is a bit odd here. And then the 2 rolls of insulation, go knock on the door, say, I'm done, do you mind signing? She goes, oh, that was quick, thought it'd be a lot longer than that. And then she goes, she has a look at it and goes, is that it? She was expecting loads more. Basically, they cocked up the order. Phone a shipper, bit of to and fro, and have to wait for them to get back to me. Yeah, they've cocked up the order. Not your fault. The guy who loaded you, fault. It's going to need to go back to the depot, which was another 29 miles back the other way. It's about a 40-minute drive. I could have, like, obviously didn't want to do it, but I kind of had to because I wanted to get this job off and start looking for a job going south. So I think, you know, you can't drop them in it. I'm not going to try and rip them off. I just says, yeah, 25 quid. I think he was very happy with that, to be honest. He thought I might say more. It's okay, put another 25 quid in a job, drove it back to a depot. So it's 75 quid in all for about 75, including loads, about £1 a mile all in. Still worked out all right. So it's about 3 o'clock by that point. So back at this depot, drop it off, pull around the corner, start searching for jobs, see a job with the same shipper, I won't say who it is, I never do, going to, well, picking up St Helens is not far from where I was, down to Wednesbury. And Wednesbury's again, it's like the morning. I picked in Wilnall, Wednesbury, right next to each other, neither far from home. I'm just thinking that would be the absolute ideal job. I've just done this job for them. Get on the phone to them straight away. And my phone starts ringing. It's the guy, because I told him obviously I wanted to head south, but took the job on anyway to Manchester. Says, got a job for you going to Midlands. Are you interested? Of course I was. He told me the mileage and stuff. Short wheelbase job, small van job. So I just thought I really want this job because it's taking me home pretty much. So I did it at 65p a mile, including getting there, but it was only like 7-8 miles down the road. So it worked out at 60 quid, but it's one of these ones where got a catalogue calculator on my lap, on my knee, trying to work it out. So I just say 60 quid, and he goes, I'll put 70 quid on the job for you because we messed you about a bit on the last one. So that's nice. So he gave me an extra tenner on it when I quoted, 70 quid. Picked it up. So then I was half an hour down the road. So by 3:30, 3:45, the only problem was, this is it. I'm getting paid 70 quid to deliver this, 79 miles. Little jiffy bag. Doesn't even seem like there's anything in it, to be honest. I'm not going to bend it because it's got to be something in it. Actually looks like looking at it, I can see the outline. There's a tiny little piece down here. And it says on the back some kind of sample. I think it's a colour code sample. That's got to be delivered tomorrow morning before 9. 10-minute drive from my home. So yeah, that's alright. So it's kind of a roll over to tomorrow. But yeah, real busy day. So all in, a best day takings wise on the CX since post-COVID. So 30, 69, 75 with the return, and then 70 for taking that back. 244 for the day. And only 273 miles. So that's all miles, loaded and unloaded, which works out at 89 pence a mile. That's got to be one of the best days ever. So yeah, things are definitely picking up in general, especially towards the end of the week. So yeah, that's Friday, a very eventful Friday. But you're knackered now, still not 100%. So looking forward to just chilling out, and then I'll do the summary over the weekend. Right, summary time. So bit of a short week this week. Just worked Tuesday, Thursday, Friday in the end. Tuesday, one CX job in the morning, 50 quid, and a £45.50 3.5 hour block. Standard rate, pay rate block from Wednesbury, so that was £95.50 for the Tuesday. Thursday, 3 jobs, all off at CX, 40, 55 and 40, made for 135. Friday was the best day by a mile. 30, 69, 75 and 70, so it made for 244, which is my best takings day since I went on it after COVID, after lockdown I should say. I came back to it after doing multi-drop. So that's not bad. £474.50 for the 3 days. It works out at £158 a day, which is pretty much what I've been averaging. And like I say, I've stayed at home each night this week. So that's quite interesting for me. Tuesday was the worst day takings wise, but I haven't felt myself all week. Tuesday especially was a bit of a half-assed day, to be honest. Still not 100%, but over the worst of it. So yeah, Friday was really good, and as I mentioned, Friday was really good in a pence per mile. For Friday was great, yeah, best I've ever done. Gotta be. So 625 miles across the 3 days. Again, that's more just taking, I mean, that's just because 3 days and just doing more small jobs where you're getting paid, like £40 for doing 20 miles and stuff. It really helps out. So yeah, it worked out today. The pence per mile was loaded and unloaded, 76 pence a mile. So I say all my earnings there are pre-VAT as always, and pre-costs. So not what I'm earning, not what I'm taking home. So pre-cost, pre-tax, but also yeah, the VAT got to go on there, and I get to keep some of that. Some VAT registered on a flat rate scheme. So yeah, it was a pretty good week really. I'm quite happy with it. If I can wasn't feeling great. So yeah, earned some decent money over 3 days, so some okay money. In terms of how busy the CX is, I think it's still, Fridays are getting really busy, as they have been the last 3 weeks, I think now. This week, obviously, I had the first occasion where shippers have called me to try and get me to do jobs before I bid on them. So that means obviously not getting bids, or if they are getting bids, then maybe they're just like really overpriced or something. But I imagine they're just not getting bids, to be honest. So that happened once on a Thursday. I did the job. Happened on the Friday. I did the job. It also happened on the Friday on the way home. So I was driving back down towards the West Midlands. So I had that little package on board, and I had a phone call about a job from Warrington to Birkenhead on the Wirral, but it's just going the wrong way. It was taking a film apparently to a cinema, so I imagine it's really urgent. But I just couldn't help the guy out. I was just taking him the wrong way, and I had enough. So that was pretty good. So the CX is definitely picking up, but I think Monday to Thursday it's still quite hard to pick up, or harder to pick up jobs in the afternoon for that same day. And one taken from this week is karma. So that is obviously, you do one good thing. If you do good things, then you're rewarded with good things, and that kind of played out on Friday with taking that job on to Manchester, which didn't really want to do, but helped the shipper out, desperate kind of thing, but obviously at a decent rate for myself. And then it went wrong, and I stuck with it and got it sorted for them, and then they came through with a perfect job taking me home, so it worked out all right in the end. Plan for this week is I'm going to go back tramping beginning of the week, so it's Sunday now, so I'm going to take my stuff with me out on the road tomorrow. I'm going to try and go out and try and come back on the Thursday and then work locally on the Friday. Or if I end up coming close to home on a Wednesday, say, I might then just stay close to home the rest of the week, so I can stay in my own bed. It's getting a bit chillier now, so I think I'll take an extra sleeping bag. But yeah, I've obviously had a week off tramping, although I've been ill. But yeah, kind of miss the adventure of tramping a bit. And winter will soon be here, so it won't be so much fun or so interesting when it's really cold at night. So that's a short week back working. Hope you enjoyed it. Any comments, as ever, put them down below. Thanks for watching. Cheers.